3, then you should be using the hashtag KR for keyboard rhythm. We're on main compositions, but Tempo Storm with a little bit of a change.
Yeah, this is quite the surprise. Jamie on the Retribution Paladin, and Alec playing the Destro Warlock, I believe, or is it the Affliction Warlock?
I mean, we can't really tell with until they start casting spells, but I would imagine that he's playing, maybe he is playing Affliction. Affliction does, I think he is playing Affliction. Affliction is normally the soft counter to Destruction Warlock, as he can cast out instant damage over time effects and then run behind the pillar while still doing close to maximum damage, whereas a Destruction Warlock has to spam casted spells. So I think compositionally this actually could work out for Tempo Storm, but again, they might be mind gaming themselves. We see Minpoike as the primary target initially here for keyboard rhythm. The pressure is going to be on to him. He gets interrupted, going for another heal, manages to catch that, should immediately be able to top his team off with the remainder of this Earthen Shield Totem.
Yeah, Aerotross putting out good pressure early on, and Minpoike actually getting locked out there. Alex trying to push in, connect dots onto everyone, but Astral Shift already going to be forced out. I love Juicy putting out huge pressure on that Feral Druid. Minpoike getting lower and lower, casting out the Healing Surge, finally connecting a heal to himself, but still just rotting down. Aerotross, I love Juicy, and Barug just all over Minpoike. Might not actually consider gating away if he has one. Yes, he does. There is 2 gateways there, so he has that option if he needs it.
Yeah, I mean, the one advantage Borog has as the Holy Paladin is he does deal with damage over time effects quite effectively with this Avenging Crusader that he has now activated. So all of his attacks will heal his entire team, and he also does bonus damage, and you can see that extra damage is putting a lot of pressure towards Minpoike as he's trying desperately to stay alive. Healing Tide Totem has been used. He's boosting his healing quite a bit. It's almost just a dog pile of both teams at this point. It's interesting to see the Destruction Warlock kind of just run down Tempo Storm. Borog finally getting counter-pressured here as Avenging Crusader is over. Jamie is putting down the gas pedal, trying to find Divine Shield. Borog tries to gate to safety. Jamie gates right after him. Borog is forced to steed up, but Jamie can just follow suit. He's getting feared away. Good peels from Aerotross and Lucy. That's going to allow Borog to recover behind the pillar.
Oh, that was so important, Borog, to finally get away from Jamie, who was just basically matching him with everything he did. Use the gateway, use the Divine Steed to chase him down, but those peels were very clutch. I love Juicy now in a little bit of trouble. Survival Instinct's going to be activated, but he's going to be running away. Wants to avoid some of the damage coming in from Jamie. Barug now caught in the full Hammer of Justice. He opts to sit it down to around 50% HP. Nice Hex Totem coming in from Minpoike, slowing down those heals, allowing Jamie to reconnect with the Blood Elf Silence. Tempo Storm has a lot of rot pressure right now.
Yeah, and Borog now has Avenging Crusader. They're going to go after Minpoike. Jamie supports with a Blessing of Sanctuary, removing that stun. Minpoike is now easily out of line of sight, but now they're switching their attention to Jamie. They're looking to force the Divine Shield. Minpoike free casting Healing Waves. Doesn't seem to be a spell lock available for him. Jamie now trying to reverse the pressure, but Borog trinkets out to lead the charge. With Jamie and Minpoike both low on health, this could easily be the Ascendance. Let's see how long Minpoike decides to be greedy with this. He's going to use Astral Shift and Ascendance. Overlapped here 30 seconds prior to the Incarnation, which means it could be devastating later on. It might even be just devastating right now. Minpoike trinkets out of the stun. He's falling more so and more so behind. Jamie's trying to make something happen by attacking Borog, as it seems to be a bit of a healer race in this match.
Yeah, it absolutely appears that way. There's a full Hammer of Justice on a Barug. If they can connect the damage, this could be his Divine Shield, which would be huge for Tempo Storm to force that out. But no, the Hellstone connects from Barug. He's going to survive to live another day. He just needs to last 5 more seconds and get that Avenging Crusader going. But he actually gets locked out. If they have enough burst damage, they can take him down before Divine Shield. Huge mistake coming in from Barug. And ultimately, Tempo Storm punishes. Keyboard Rhythm is in such a good spot. That was a very greedy play from Barug, or an excellent play from Alec, whatever way you want to look at it, but ultimately Tempo Storm will win.
Alec with the outplay locks out Barug, locks him out of his rhythm, and now we have a 1-0 advantage for Tempo Storm. And Zika, that's huge, because Tempo Storm, they always run these different compositions. Rich was saying yesterday, we kind of call them Counter Storm in some ways, or we've used that in the past for previous iterations of Tempo Storm rosters, and they just have so many options. And Alec on that Warlock especially, 2-0 yesterday, now another win here today. He's looking good on that.
Yeah, Alec has been doing a great job on the Warlock, and I think it is very similar in a lot of ways to the Mage. When you play that Warlock, if you have that free casting role where they're going onto your healer or onto your third member, then you have a lot of options with peeling and applying counter spells and spell locks at the right time, just like that, and getting all of that damage out, you know. Alec has been doing a great job with that.
Load up into Dalaran Suez. Game 2 of this series, Tempo Storm taking the edge in the first one. As you can see, Minpoike swapping over to that Restoration Druid.
Yeah, I'm interested to see who Keyboard Rhythm decides to target down in this matchup. In the last game, Minpoike was on the Resto Shaman. He was a big vulnerability for Tempo Storm. Now on the Resto Druid, maybe it's not going to be as easy for Keyboard Rhythm.
All right, Jamie just standing right on top of the entire enemy team. Alec is now moving in as well. Tempo Storm look to get aggressive. Minpoiki getting bashed early on, but a Sanctuary will remove that. And Lucy knows that targeting the Resto Druid as the Feral is going to be the best target to go after. Lucy getting bashed away as Minpoiki is looking for a Cyclone, and Lucy is actually opting to trinket out of that. And I like that. I love Lucy is not playing the Incarnation. He's actually playing the Soul of the Forest, I believe, so his spread pressure is just going to be insanely high. It's going to be the best way to run Minpoiki out of mana.
Yeah, Minpoiki taking huge pressure very early on. Already committing the Iron Bark over onto Jamie. Jamie and Alec, though, the Affliction Warlock damage sort of rotting down everyone from Keyboard Rhythm, but the Avenging Crusader will be popped, and that's that major healing cooldown for Barug where he can actually top off his team. But still, Jamie doing work right now, keeping him low. If he can't top himself off with his Avenging Crusader, it could be very scary for Barug. He knows that. He gates away, doesn't want to get caught into a Hammer Justice, doesn't want to get spell locked again, but he ultimately does go for it. But Jamie now, chasing down Barug. He is vulnerable in the open with a full fear on him and Minpoiki. This could be the Divine Shield.
Yeah, but Jamie can't really chase after him. He's trying to go halfway in between. If Barug just moved away from the ledge, then Jamie would have to overcommit. Now Jamie is overcommitted. Let's see if the heal over time effects from Minpoiki will be enough to stabilize him. And Ret Paladins just love hitting Holy Paladins. I don't know, it's probably the most juicy target to attack. And Barug is trying his best to just close the distance, but Jamie can match him. Minpoiki moving in for a bash. There's no trinket available. This could easily be the Divine Shield. They're trying to peel them away with the maim. A War Stomp followed up. Barug doing his best to be as greedy as possible in this situation, but greed might not be good, and the Divine Shield is ultimately forced. At least he did get the Blood Elf Silence used from Jamie, but now with no Divine Shield and no trinket, Barug will be in trouble. They're trying to go after Minpoiki. It's a bit of a greedy play to not trinket on this Hammer of Justice. He did get stunned out of there.
Oh!
That greedy decision. There was no Blessing of Protection. There was no Sanctuary. There was no trinket. There were 3 different options there to get out of that situation, and unfortunately, that means for Tempo Storm, we're going to be going to game number 3, 1-1.
I think that was a ferocious bite or something, because he was kind of chill.
Storm 1-1 against Keyboard Rhythm. We can see them locking in the same composition once again. Minpoiki sitting on that Restoration Druid.
In the last game, honestly, Tempo Storm was looking really, really good. They were way ahead. Barug had already used his Divine Shield. I feel like it's going to be a similar strategy for them. Jamie on the Retribution Paladin, that is his favorite target, is that Holy Paladin. So we'll have to see if Tempo Storm can just survive, maybe use their defensive cooldowns a little bit better, and I don't think it's going to be too bad for them.
No, certainly not. This time around, it seems like Lucy will be playing Incarnation. That's going to be a lot more single target burst, but a lot less just damage over time on multiple targets. So Minpoiki needs to be extra careful on the swaps to him during that moment in time. Jamie is just immediately getting stunned up. I love Lucy trying to get as many bleeds on as many targets as possible. Airtrust trying to banish the pet so he can free cast later on. Minpoiki is actually pushing forward on top of Barug. He's going to take quite a bit of damage from this aggressive push. He's going to trade up Arcskin, but he is not in bear form, and that's a critical moment here. He could just end up going down, the same as we saw in game number 2. And it's going to happen again. Just if you get caught out of that bear form and you don't respond with a trinket or a sanctuary, it's almost certainly going to be your death.
This is such a nightmare for Tempo Storm. 2 games in a row, just absolutely thrown away. Keyboard Rhythm has to be grinning.
Being eliminated from the competition here, Seth.
Yeah, and Runes of Lordaeron would be a fitting final resting place for Tempo Storm indeed, as it is a cemetery.
Of course.
We are 10 seconds away from this game starting. Runes of Lordaeron is a very risky pick by Tempo Storm, as it's almost completely open field. I could imagine Airtrust taking to the center of this tomb and being able to cast across basically the entire arena. I'm wondering if Tempo Storm are going to try to rush down Barug. Minpoiki and Jamie just need to work together as a team. If they're in line of sight with each other, they can support each other and get through those deadly Feral Druid cooldowns that can be applied to the Resto Druid. If they don't work as a team, they're going to get isolated, exposed, and destroyed. There's the Sanctuary early on onto Minpoiki, as he was stunned out of bear form, but there were no cooldowns used, so they get the Sanctuary basically for free in this position.
Yeah, double coil coming out from Airtrust as he tries to get some pressure rolling over onto Jamie. I love Lucy's going to be charging in, but he gets bashed up by Minpoiki there, so not going to be able to do too much. This is looking much better for Tempo Storm, but still good rot pressure coming in from Keyboard Rhythm. And Barugi still has that Avenging Crusader. He pops it now. Jamie getting lower, Minpoiki getting lower. Might have to commit the Iron Bark here.
They overlap the Trinket and the Blessing of Protection, and they're still dying at this point. Tempo Storm should be able to survive for at least another minute, but with that massive cooldown overlap, if Minpoiki gets stunned out of bear form again, and they can cross crowd control the Sanctuary, he's going to disappear from the arena. He's still getting pressured down. He's trying to hold on to the Barkskin until he gets stunned, but he's forced to use Frenzy Regeneration. If Borog can survive hit this stun, Jamie's trying to get a kill before that point can happen. Borog trinkets out, but into a silence. Double Mortal Coil. Jamie caught into a stun. Borog moving over towards Min Poike. No Avenging Crusader, but they're going to go for the Hammer of Justice. That's the Sanctuary. Borog is still getting rushed down. It's going to be a healer race, as we saw in game number 1. Jamie desperately trying to connect. Will Borog be able to hold on to the Divine Shield? He's trying to fake cast all the interrupts, but he might be greedy. He has to trade out the Divine Shield. He will easily now survive. Tears Deliverance has been casted. His team should start to restabilize, and it's been Poike that will be under fire.
Yeah, full Hammer of Justice onto I Love Lucy. Eritros getting a little bit low as well, but like you said, Poike is going to be in big trouble. He has a Barkskin. Iron Bark's going to be up as well. Now Barug is basically run out of all his defensives. They can land full stuns on him. It's going to be big trouble for Keyboard Rhythm. This is where the Affliction Warlock rot pressure is really coming in. Barug using that Avenging Crusader, trying to rush down Poike and take him down. Jamie still has a Divine Shield, so he should be completely fine here. He just needs to make sure he's supporting Poike the best he can. Frenzied Regen will ultimately top off Poike, but Eritros, Lucy, as well as Barug in hot pursuit.
Yeah, but he used the Frenzy Regeneration before the stun. Sanctuary is going to save Poike on this one, but he's running out of Frenzy Regeneration charges. If they can keep up the sustained damage as they are, they might be able to put him down. Jamie's also rotting. Alec is trying to take control of the fight. He uses the Succubus to interrupt the unending resolve of Eritros. Now Borug is in trouble. Great crowd control and peels from Alec, and now setting up to finish this. Borug gates back into the room. Jamie chases after him. He barely connects the massive heal in time, but Jamie's right on top of him. He uses the Divine Shield to stay on target. Borug has no Avenging Crusader for 10 more seconds. Borug needs to survive. Just 9 more seconds. He uses his trinket. He's trying to kite away. Jamie's still just right on top of him. Poike following up. I can imagine that bashes may be available. Poike's just waiting for that diminishing return. Borug is going to disappear. The catch Poike out of form. He uses the Barkskin, but maybe it would have been better to trinket in this situation. He's being greedy again. Will he ultimately go down as a result of it? No, it looks like he will survive this stun lock. Now basically all they have to do is get to Borug, and there's really no way for him to survive the next stun.
Yeah, Poike doing a great job there with the Iron Bark, preemptive Iron Bark, and Barkskin to keep himself alive, so I really can't fault him for not trinketing. Ultimately, he is going to be able to survive Barug. You know, this is the last few moments of his Avenging Crusader, and now it's time for Temple Storm to strike back. There's the full Hammer of Justice on a Barug as he tries to kite away once again. He has to survive another 28 seconds before he has that major cooldown to keep his team alive. There's the full Maim over on him Poike. Lucy chasing him down right now as he does rot down. Can he find the interrupt? Doesn't look like it. Poike's able to free cast, get the full Cyclone as well. Very nicely done by Poike. Should be able to top off his team.
But look at I Love Lucy Incarnation coming off cooldown in 1 second. If he just pops that instantly, Poike doesn't have Barkskin for 8 more seconds. There's the Incarnation. Poike's going to disappear. He pops Renewal. He barely hangs on. He needs 4 more seconds. He manages to stabilize with that trinket. Now he's desperately trying to kite away, and now at this point, Tempo Storm, it's completely in their favor. They have Blessing and Protection to deny a kill. Borug basically has nothing left. He's caught into a stun, into a silence, and Borug is likely to fall. Avenging Crusader won't be enough as Jamie's Templar verdict crits massive. We're going to a game number 5 between Tempo Storm and Keyboard Rhythm. You can still kind of tell that Poike and Jamie's teamwork is a bit shaky with the Paladin and Resto Druid supporting each other, but unlike the other games, at least they got the cooldowns onto the playing field, right? They might have overlapped them, but at least they were there to stop the kill. Sweep under the rug because his name is Borug.
I did indeed.
I didn't even catch that.
All right, the gates have opened. This is quite an evenly fought battle, but it does seem to be slightly favored to Tempo Storm if they can clean up the teamwork between Poike and Jamie. Alec is definitely MVP on this Warlock, as we've pointed out in that replay with the Succubus to prevent Eritros from saving Borug. Offensively, Tempo Storm look great. They just need to clean up their defense. We see a Sanctuary removing that stun onto Poike very early on. It's very similar to the last game. That means it won't be available for the Incarnation stun. Poike needs to be careful. He's got Innervate going. He's trying to get a lot of big, expensive heals out right now, but gets Mortal Coiled away. Double Mortal Coil. Eritros really wants to get a Divine Shield early on. The Incinerates are flying in. Double Infernal stun as well. Alec gets locked out. He can't support, but Jamie's going to go straight for the healer instead to try and force the issue, and it's likely that this match will be a healer race again.
Yeah, Barug gets at a line of sight though, tops himself off. Jamie still seems to be taking most of the damage in this matchup. It seems to be the focus for Eritros, making sure he has good pressure onto Jamie. That is going to be the Blessing of Protection used as well. If they get the bubble here, this is going to be a huge swing for Tempo Storm. Barug trinkets out of that stun and be able to top himself off. This is the Avenging Crusader, so this is the moment where Keyboard Rhythm is going to be completely fine, but after this cooldown's faded, Tempo Storm is going to have an opportunity to get really aggressive.
There's a Sanctuary onto Poike to get him out of that stun. Could have easily been his death there, but he will survive. Tempo Storm's defense is looking a lot better in this game. Borug is going to be falling behind here shortly when that Avenging Crusader fades, and I'm sure Jamie wants to go straight for him. Jamie standing right on top. It's just a dog pile, and both teams trying to kill each other's healers. Borug caught into a stun. He's being greedy by not trinketing out of this, and he could ultimately fall. He trinkets and has to Divine Shield. A critical error from Borug. It's going to put him infinitely behind for the rest of this match, Ven.
Yeah, he was right on top of that gateway as well. I'm sure what he wanted to do is get out of the stun, use the gateway, and be completely safe. But like you said, that is a huge error. Trinket and bubble. This is so big for Tempo Storm. When that Divine, he doesn't even have the Avenging Crusader for another 8 seconds. They're going to continue this pressure, but Jamie gets pounced up there. I Love Lucy trying to strike back on to Jamie. Full hammer of justice on a Barug, though. He doesn't have anything to survive, and I think that's going to be it. I think Tempo Storm ultimately will take him down. Barug making a huge mistake there, but honestly, credit to Tempo Storm using this composition to take keyboard rhythm down and ultimately advance.
And again, in this game, he tried to be greedy, and when you are trying to be greedy, right here, he could have had a human racial, but instead, or he could have had a trinket, but instead, he used trinket